We have watched every single episode of Star Trek the original series for the first time over the past year, and that journey ends today with the very last episode.
But it's a little different today, because I'm not looking at you through Discord. You're right to my right. We've done this before. I don't know why it's a big deal, but
Well, it is a big deal because we have never watched an episode of Star Trek in person together.
True.
We realized this a few weeks ago, and I was like, wow, we should probably watch at least one together in person. We've watched all these movies and everything for the channel in person, but not Star Trek, so we decided, why not at least the very last episode? We're going to be doing this moving forward. It doesn't mean we're never going to do a virtual reaction again, but for the most part, we're going to attempt to do them all in person. And we want to give a special thank you to all of our patrons, and a very, very special thank you to our patron, Jonathan, who gave us a very generous donation and allowed us to get this new equipment as we make this transition. So we want to thank all of them. And we're going to get jumping right into it, do all the discussion afterwards.
The Enterprise has received a distress call from a group of scientists on Camus 2.
Big three, one more time.
What's wrong with her?
Exposure to radiation.
I don't know.
Perhaps your presence will quiet her.
I don't know who's going to be in this, but I already know from one comment that we have seen the last of Uhura. Yeah, the Abraham Lincoln episode.
Oh, that just hit me.
Your world of starship captains doesn't admit women. It isn't fair.
No, it isn't. You punished and tortured me because of it.
I loved you.
I mean, I know at the time it makes sense for the 60s, but with how, like, they try to see everything through a future lens, it is kind of weird that they would put that in there.
Yeah, why hasn't there been a woman captain? It's like,
I mean, the Romulan captain was a woman.
That's why you're not a captain.
Because you're evil. But you know what I mean? I feel like all that stuff like that, they just purposely, like, wouldn't say anything instead of making it, like, canon, like, oh, they can't. But whoever wrote this episode did not care.
Yeah, that's more... What are you doing?
Oh, Freaky Friday! All right, we're going to have a woman inside of Kirk's body for the last episode. Let's go.
Can't wait to see how he acts. Here we go.
Space.
First time in person, last time ever seeing it.
Yeah, I doubt the movie's open like this, so... I wonder how the animated show opens.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
It even sounds different on the TV.
It does, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It's so weird not having it come through like the side of my ears here.
I don't have like a cool sound system or anything yet. It's just coming from the TV. Maybe one day. There it was.
You think there's gonna be anything in this episode to wrap up the entire series?
No. All right, who directed it? Herb.
Good old Herb.
You had your chance, Captain Kirk. You should have smothered the life in.
All right, this can be fun.
Janice Lester takes the place of Captain Kirk. Only this Captain Kirk is not afraid to kill.
Oh, God.
It's better to be dead than to live alone in the body of a woman.
Oh my God.
She's got that internalized misogyny.
Was it radiation as suggested?
Oh, I believe it was selenium.
He already seems suspicious.
Yeah, what if he was just like fully aware of what that wall thing did?
Oh yeah, that wall thing can switch bodies. Probably shouldn't have left you here.
Lester is near death.
Perhaps a shock of knowing what happened to her staff.
I'm glad they established that they know each other, so she, like, knows how to talk as Kirk. Oh, they can be on board holding someone? They didn't get their wires crossed?
Mr. Spock, take the ship out of orbit.
Must be a pretty exact technology.
I walked out on her when it became serious.
Well, you must have been very young at the time, Jim.
Youth doesn't excuse everything, Dr. McCoy.
Dr. Lester is certainly a very lucky young person to have escaped.
Yes, very lucky.
I wonder who's going to be the one to see through it.
Yeah, you would think Spock, right? What if it's Chekhov?
Wait a minute.
You're not the captain.
You killed every one of the staff. You sent them where you knew the selenium shielding was weak.
Okay, so he knows. He was in on it.
I gave you every minute you asked for.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense now.
Dr. Coleman, didn't you suggest a sedation to rest the patient?
Yes, Captain.
It's not necessary, Jim. Can't you see she's coming around?
Oh, okay, that was cool.
The Enterprise is proceeding to its next mission on the course set for it before I took over command.
So she's doing her own version of the captain's log.
With a little experience, I will be invulnerable to suspicion.
That's awesome. That's actually awesome.
Oh, we got these two for the last one.
All the months of preparation now come to fruition.
Oh, you record a log admitting the plans.
Course, Mr. Chekhov?
127 Mark 8.
Luckily, we got everyone else. Just unfortunately not her this episode, but...
Oh, there it is. There's a shot.
Help, fake off.
I'll let my record speak for me.
Why are you being so defensive? There's no implied criticism of you.
He's filing his nails.
You need to do that, honestly. A lot of guys don't. I just chew mine.
Yeah, me too.
Pulse, pressure, blood count, all body functions normal. Then why am I here?
He doesn't even know.
Quiet would be best for you.
I am not Janice Lester. She did this to me. I am not Janice Lester.
The paranoia has been developing for the past 6 months.
Yeah, I feel like if it was Bones or Spock, they might be a little bit more relieved with how weird Kirk has been acting to them.
Well, gentlemen, I'm here, Doctor.
Spock, Bones.
Oh. Oh, shit!
She might have killed someone.
Oh, look at Bones.
The captain said that no one is allowed to speak to Dr. Lister.
Has such an order ever included his senior officers?
No, sir.
Oh,
I think the captain meant that a guard should be present.
By all means, Lieutenant.
I like how Spock didn't lie. He just maneuvered his way in using...
oh, this thing.
We haven't seen this thing in a while.
It's like first 5 episodes, I feel like.
I don't think another test is necessary.
Now, I need another one to compare with that previous test.
Glad we got to have one more shirtless Kirk scene.
Had to get it in one more time.
To my knowledge, such total transfer has never been accomplished with complete success anywhere in the galaxy.
Spock, you've run into such crazy shit. It's like, just believe anything at this point.
Nevertheless, Spock, it is the truth I'm speaking.
I'd be like, ask me anything.
Ask me what happened yesterday.
Ask me what happened when we went to Vulcan and we fought each other.
When I was caught in the interspace of the Tholian sector, you risked your life and the Enterprise to get me back.
Continuity!
That's the Tholian web, right?
Yeah.
When the Vians of Minara demanded that we let Bones die, we didn't permit it.
Oh my god.
Those events have been recorded. They could have become known to you.
Mind meld. Mind meld. Come on, Spock, you know me. What did my brother look like? He looked like you with a mustache.
I'm sorry, sir, but Dr. Lister cannot leave here.
Certainly, Lieutenant. We all must do our duty.
Security guard!
Oh!
He saw it coming! And he still got him!
That was great.
Quite all right, Ensign. Everything's under control.
Oh, that guy didn't get it.
He's the new one.
Attention all personnel. First Officer Spock has been placed under arrest. A hearing will be immediately convened.
Oh, we going to court?
I'm going to court.
Court-martial.
Court-martial. Holy shit,
This
dude.
finale is everything.
My fears are past. I shall function freely.
Is Scotty being the lawyer?
Did you do it, Spock?
Well, did you do it or didn't you?
The one who should be the real subject of this investigation is kept locked away and in isolation.
She's dangerously insane. We've seen the evidence.
Why would you say it looking like that?
Could you look more menacing? Oh, nice dress.
Is the story of life entity transfer believable? This crew has been to many places in the galaxy. They've been witness to many strange events.
Thank you.
A recess is declared to be followed by a vote.
Do you think it'll be like, recess, and then she's the only one that leaves the room? Everyone else just stays there and talks to each other. You know what I mean? Like, you just left Kirk in there, too, and the woman's body, like, he's just gonna be like, alright, guys, so it's me clearly in here.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Scotty. Doctor.
Don't see these two that often.
Suppose you vote with me in favor of Spock. Then, Doctor, that's the time we move against him.
What about the 400 others? Do they get a vote?
Didn't even witness the trial. They all get to vote.
Play the tapes of the conversation.
What about the red shirts? They get to vote?
They recorded.
Then's the time we move against
Oh, no!
We'll have to take over the ship.
You should have known. Everything's recorded.
Everything is recorded.
Wow.
That cannot be the captain.
What difference does it make who he is?
How will we fight him?
I'll fight them every way and any way I can.
Yeah. Get your sword. What? Spock can do this?
I'm lost to the captain.
How did that happen?
I'm never going to be the captain.
I didn't want to destroy her.
I'm sure we all understand that, Captain.
Her life could have been as rich as any woman's. If only. If only.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. I never thought this day would come. I thought, it's not going to be like a typical series season finale where it wraps up a bunch of stuff, but it's still serviced enough with a couple lines rewarding you for watching, where a couple of, a couple of those moments. So I appreciated those a lot. The technology stuff is kind of just a MacGuffin, just something to kick off the episode. Not really important on the details.
So obviously, yeah, we're not going to talk about season 3 as a whole or the series as a whole. Those will be other videos, but yeah, I'm really surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because every time it seems like, especially with season 3, if people hype up the episode, we don't really like it. If people say it's terrible, we end up really liking it. The main thing that I've heard about this is that it's has some misogyny in it. Guys, I hate to break it to you, this is a 60s TV show. The whole thing has been kind of misogynistic. I mean, the only thing would be at the beginning, obviously, the throwaway line of like, oh, females can't be captains, which, like, I already just know in future Star Trek shows they have female characters as captains. So I'm just going to, like, reject that from the canon. Beyond that, yeah, I really liked this episode. I mean, besides Uhura not being in it, which is a bummer, but beyond that, they really had, like, it felt like one last moment for everything. Like, you had Sulu and Chekhov's moment. You had Spock and Bones moment. You had even, like, Scotty and Bones. All this stuff. Got to have another vintage William Shatner getting to play something different, He gets to play his ex-lover in his body, So I really, really enjoyed this. And so a lot of great scenes in this one. I really like this, and overall, I wasn't expecting a series finale, so that was never, my expectation. But with that being said, like, I accept this as a series finale. Like, it was pretty good. Much better than Assignment Earth. So, yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I didn't try to set anything else up. Just a slight little bow on this show, which it sucks because it's over, but. Maybe like going back, they're like, this one would probably work as the last one because we've mentioned other things. Just sucks that her is not in it.
I feel like with so many Star Trek episodes, it's like, can you buy the premise or not? Really goes a long way of accepting the episode and liking it. I totally bought this premise. I mean, we've seen the Freaky Friday premise plenty of times before, so it's a believable concept in media.
Usually when it comes to like the 2-minute wraps where they figure it out in the last 2 minutes, sometimes it's like, but other times it's like, I just felt like all the stuff in the middle was so good leading up to it that I didn't mind. It's like, oh, they just switched like that. Like, oh, okay, because I love all the court stuff. I love how Janice and Kirk's body is like slowly slipping the mask. She had a good hold on it at first, and then slowly, piece by piece, she's becoming more and more unhinged.
It was good. I think we can just end it there. I don't really have many negatives. I guess the one thing would be, like, obviously the logical, like, when you're in the court, why couldn't he have just asked Kirk, the woman pretending to be Kirk, just like, oh, what happened here? Like, just test their knowledge, because in that scenario, if there's just one thing the person doesn't know. You know what I mean? Like, she can be well researched, you know, on the Enterprise's missions and know, but just ask them one thing, and if they don't know the answer, it immediately exposes them. So it's like, you know, you just have to jump through those logical hoops. But again, I accepted the premise, so I'm not, you know, wasn't gonna go too deep.
Almost
on that.
like Queens to Queen's Bishop. That could have really been in use right there.
Yeah, plenty of videos still to come about the original series on the channel. Obviously not reactions, but we will be talking about season 3 in a wrap-up video like we did for the other 2 seasons. We'll also be talking about the series as a whole in a discussion video, and we got a couple more ideas as well for videos coming for the original series. In the meantime, we'll also be watching the rest of season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then right after we finish that in a few weeks, we'll jump right back into Star Trek, watch Star Trek the animated series. That should be in this format moving forward. I loved this, by the way. I loved watching this.
Oh, this is great. Much better on a TV than my laptop.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the virtual era of target audience was fun. I'm sure, like I said, there might be some reactions in the future that we have to do it that way for whatever the circumstance is, but we'll be mostly in person moving forward. So hope you guys like it. If you have any feedback on the format or anything like that, obviously let us know that too. But if it's your first time here, make sure to subscribe, become part of the target audience. Every single episode of Star Trek the original series you can now watch the reactions to on our channel, so go check those out and stick with us through the rest of our Star Trek journey.
Absolutely. That'll do it for us here at the TA. I'm Alex. This is Josh. We have the target audience. Content's made for absolutely everybody, but we think specifically made for us guys, but especially for you guys as well. Did I say it right? I have no idea. I'm a little emotional. It's the last Star Trek episode. I'm losing my mind here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
All right, I am recording.
And I am recording. And I'm going to sync in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that's a good clap.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the Nestle joke.
Nestle, we own Coke, Pepsi, Star Trek.
I think we noticed throughout the show there's just a bunch of Nestle product placement.
Yeah, in the future. Like it's like it takes place like the 24th century. There's just like Nestle logos on the bottles and everything.
All right, you want to start off the intro for this one?
I will, yeah.
All right, let me get you reframed a little bit here.
Okay.
Do. All right, you're good.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
I'm good.